My son-in-law slept with my wife. 1 week later, we sat down to sign divorce papers. I acted like I knew nothing. Then the lawyer slid a document across the table. 70% of your assets go to her. I smiled, because by then, everything was already in motion. Stay with me till the end. And tell me where you're watching from. I want to know how far this story travels. At 63, I never thought I'd witness something like that. I was standing in my own kitchen doorway, and in one single moment, everything I had built collapsed. The coffee mug slipped from my hand. It hit the floor and shattered, but I barely heard it, because right in front of me, Melissa, my wife of 28 years, and Marvin, my son-in-law, were wrapped around each other like I didn't even exist. Her hands were in his hair. His lips were on her neck. There was no confusion, no misunderstanding. This wasn't a mistake. This had been happening for a long time. I should have shouted. I should have lost control. I should have thrown something. But I didn't. I just stood there frozen, watching my entire life break apart in silence. And the worst part? It wasn't just betrayal. It was who she chose. Marvin, the man I welcomed into my family. The man who married my daughter, Sarah. The man I treated like my own son. Melissa pulled away first. Her face turned pale the moment she saw me. Marvin turned around slowly, panic written all over him. George, I can explain. I raised my hand. Don't. My voice surprised even me. It was calm, cold, controlled. No shouting, no emotion. Just one word. Silence filled the room. Heavy, suffocating. Marvin opened his mouth, then closed it again. Melissa tried to fix her blouse, with shaking hands. How long? I asked. I didn't even know if I wanted the answer. Melissa looked at Marvin, then back at me. George, it's not what you think. I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because it was ridiculous. Really, I said, because what I see is my wife sleeping with my son-in-law in my own house. They said nothing, and that silence told me everything. Suddenly, all the small things started making sense. Her late nights, his unexpected visits, the way they looked at each other during family dinners. I had seen it before. I just chose to ignore it. I was blind. Sarah doesn't know, Marvin finally said. I stared at him. Of course she didn't. If she knew, I said quietly. You think we'd be standing here talking? Melissa stepped forward. George, please. Let's talk calmly. Calmly, I repeated. You want to talk calmly about betraying our daughter? About destroying our marriage? It's not like that, she said. What we have, it's real. Love. That word hit harder than anything else. Love? After everything we built? After everything we shared? Now this was love. Something inside me changed at that moment. The anger faded. The pain went quiet. And something else took its place. Clarity. Cold, sharp clarity. I could see exactly what they expected. They wanted me to explode. To beg. To fight. To break down. But I wasn't going to give them that. I nodded slowly. I understand. Marvin looked confused. You understand. I understand you've both made your choice. I turned to leave. Then paused. I assume you want a divorce. Melissa blinked. We haven't discussed it yet. You will, I said. And when you do, let me know. Then I walked away. That night, I didn't sleep. I lay in the guest room staring at the ceiling. 28 years. Gone. Just like that. Melissa slept in our bedroom, probably relieved I didn't cause a scene. Marvin had already gone home. Back to Sarah, pretending everything was normal. But I wasn't going to pretend. I was going to prepare. The next morning, she avoided me. Stayed in the bedroom until I left. Good. I had things to do. Calls to make. Plans to start. If they thought I was weak, they were about to learn something different. For the next 7 days, I acted perfectly normal. I made coffee, read the paper, went to work, spoke politely, smiled when needed. Melissa started relaxing. She thought I didn't know. She even became more attentive, cooking my favorite meals, asking about my day. Guilt makes people behave strangely. On Tuesday, Marvin came over. At 2:15 p.m., he used his key, the one we gave him for emergencies. I wasn't at work. I watched from upstairs. I heard their voices. Then silence. Then movement. Toward the couch. The same couch we shared family moments on. I didn't go down. I didn't interrupt. I just took notes. Time. Details. Evidence. Wednesday. He came again. 1:45 p.m. Stayed 2 hours. I watched him leave. Melissa fixed his collar before he walked out, like a loving partner. That night, Sarah called. Invited us to dinner. Melissa sounded like a perfect mother. Laughing. Caring. Normal. Tell Dad I love him, Sarah said. I smiled. If only you knew, I thought. Thursday. Melissa came to talk. Dressed carefully. Soft voice. George, we need to talk. I looked up. About what? Our marriage. She hesitated, then said it. I think we've grown apart. I nodded. Have we? She continued. We should try a separation. There it was. The plan. She explained everything. She keeps the house. We split savings. I move out. Simple. Clean. Convenient. For her. What about Sarah? I asked. We'll explain it gently. And Marvin? She flinched. We'll handle it. Of course they would. I'll think about it, I said. That night, she hummed in the bedroom. Happy. That sound stayed with me. Friday. It made my loveye. Richard Hawthorne. I told him everything. What do you want? He asked. Justice. That's all I said. Monday morning. She brought the papers. Already prepared. Already decided. Her lawyer. Her terms. Her future. She wanted. House. Savings. 60-40 split. In her favor. Alimony. Everything planned. I hope we can stay civil, she said. I nodded. I'll have my lawyer review it. Tuesday. We met in Richard's office. Melissa. Her lawyer, Jennifer. Young. Inexperienced. Nervous. We went through everything. Assets. House. $450,000. Savings. $230,000. Investments. $1.7 million. Then, Richard brought something up. My client owns a business. Jennifer looked confused. What business? Melissa turned to me. You never told me. You never asked, I said. Value. $2.3 million. Her face changed. Then Richard dropped the next part. There's an offer, $3.8 million. Now the room was silent. Everything shifted. Then Richard made the offer. 70% of liquid assets go to Mrs. Henderson. In return, Mr. Henderson keeps the business and the cabin. Melissa's eyes lit up. Nearly $2 million for her. More than she expected. Are you sure? She asked. I looked straight at her. I just want this to be over. She smiled. And that smile was exactly what I was waiting for. Because she still had no idea that everything she thought she was winning was already slipping through her fingers. And what I did next, that's where the real story begins.